Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Om Yanatamandasya Ginanjana Salakaya Chakshum Dena Tasmai Shri Gare Nama Mukam Kotavachalam Pungunung Hayate Grim Yat Kripataraham Vande Shigarum Dinadaranam Vanchakapati Vyasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Jaya Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Krishna, he has many energies, and one of them is the Hladini Shakti, the pleasure potency of Krishna, Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. It's like the sun has many energies, heat and light. So Krishna has many energies, and one of the most prominent is Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. And Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, she is the personality that gives most pleasure to Krishna, because she's very pure. She's completely selfless. In the Shikshashtaka by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's stated, Aslishyava parartam pranastamam adarsana marvatam karotuva yatatata vavadhata lapata mat prana nata suseva napara. I don't know him but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain. So even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me, he's completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord. So this is the mood of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. She simply wants to please Krishna. Doesn't matter what Krishna does, she simply wants to please Krishna. So there's no contamination. In this world there's so much contamination in relationships. There's lust and greed. It's stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Atmendra Priti Vanchitari Balikam Krishnendra Iti Parina. That lust means the desire to satisfy one's own senses. And love means the desire to satisfy the senses of Krishna. So Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī is absorbed in satisfying the senses of Krishna. In this world, people are pretty much absorbed in just trying to satisfy their senses, but there's no happiness there. The happiness is found in service to Krishna. This is the nature of the soul, is to serve Krishna. So therefore, this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, its main activity is to distribute this knowledge, to give this knowledge out, which is about Krishna and Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. It's very pleasing to Krishna, very pleasing to Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī that this knowledge is distributed. Therefore, there's a very famous verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Tabakatamratam tapta jivanam kavibhaiditam kamasapaham Shabadamangalam Srimad Atatam Buddhagunatani Buridajana. That your glories are relished by those who are feeling the pangs of material existence. Practically everybody in the material world. Devakatamradam Tapta Jivanam, feeling the anxieties of the material world. But it's stated by great saints, Kavirvi Editam Kamasapaham, that simply by hearing the glories of Krishna, simply by hearing the glories of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, one becomes free of sinful activity, sinful reactions. Kabirbiditam Kamasam Shravanamanglam. And it's so auspicious to hear the glories of Krishna, to hear the glories of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Srimad Atatam, and one becomes very powerful, one becomes very strong simply by hearing the glories of Krishna. And Bhuvi Gunatani Bhuri Dajana, and those persons who are distributing this knowledge, they are the most dear to Krishna. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada was very pleased. He said, if you want to please me, distribute books. It's very important. There's one instance where the devotees were distributing so many books, and it was so pleasing to Prabhupada. And in the newsletter, our book distribution newsletter, they wrote that the book distributors, they're like in the mood of the gopis because they're bringing people back to Krishna. They're inviting people back to Krishna. And the gopis got more pleasure from bringing other gopis to Krishna than they felt from being in direct association with Krishna. So some of the devotees thought, well, the book distributors are becoming a little bit like Sahajiya, thinking they're gopis. So when Prabhupada was here, if there was any controversy, they would just ask Prabhupada. So they wrote a letter to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, yes, this is correct, that the book distributors, they're in the mood of the gopis because they're trying to bring others to Krishna. So it's so important that we give this knowledge out to others. In whatever way one can, try to give this knowledge to others. It's natural. You get something nice, you want to share it with others. We have something very nice. We have so much nice information coming to us from Krishna. We're hearing the wonderful pastimes of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī and Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. This brings to mind a pastime many of you, or some of you have heard, some have not. I mentioned it this morning, and I was told to mention it again. It's a nice pastime of Krishna. It's called the pearl pastime. Who here has heard of the pearl pastime? Very few. Okay, so you're going to enjoy this pastime. This is the pastimes of God, Krishna, and his devotees. This is by Raghunath Das Goswami, who was one of the great Vaishnavas, one of the Goswamis. Very, very advanced devotee. So, Krishna is in Vrindavan. This is the time of Kartik. If you go to India during Kartik, there's a lot of things happening in Vrindavan. It's so many people and lots of activity and festivals. It's a very festive time. So when Krishna was here 5,000 years ago, it was the same. It was a festive time. A lot of things happening. So the gopis, they were making pearls, pearl necklaces. And Krishna went there with his friends and said, oh, gopis, please give us some of your pearls. We want to make some pearl necklaces for the cows. And Radharani said, we're not going to give you any pearls to make pearl necklaces for your cows. Don't bother us, you know. Oh, please, give us, you have so many pearls, give us some pearls. No, we're not going to give you any pearls. And then finally, Radharani says, I'll give him one of our reject pearls, you know. He won't bother us anymore. So then Krishna said, oh yeah? Well, I'm gonna grow our own pearls. And they said, silly boy, you can't grow pearls. Pearls come from oysters in the ocean. You can't grow pearls. No, you watch. So he went to his mother, Mata, please, can you give me some pearls? We're going to grow some pearls. Krishna, you don't grow pearls. They come from oysters in the ocean. No, Mata. Yeah, I'm Krishna. Remember? So all the amazing things I did. Just give me some pearls. So he said, all right, here's some pearls. So he's from a family of agriculturalists, so he lined up the pearls very nicely, and he was watering the pearls with milk. And after 3 days, there were some sprouts. And he called the gopis over, you see? Pearl bushes are going to come up. We're going to get pearls. And they said, it's just going to be thorn bushes. And you see, after 2 weeks, sure enough, pearls were growing on these bushes. And they weren't ordinary pearls. They were different colors, and they were fragrant, and they were beautiful. So Krishna called over the Gopas, you see? Look at my pearls. And they were amazed. How does Krishna do this? How does Krishna do this? So then the Gopis said, well, we're gonna grow our own pearls. And they went to their mothers and said, Mata, please, can you give us some more pearls? We're going to grow some pearls. I said, you don't grow pearls. No, Krishna did it. We can do it. Krishna did it. We can do it. So they also lined up the pearls, and they decided not to use milk. They decided to use ghee. This way they get better pearls. And yogurt. Yogurt and ghee. This way they get better and bigger. You know? So they were gheeing and yogurtine, you know. So then after a few days, there were some sprouts. And then they called over Krishna, you see, we're going to have pearl bushes. And after 2 weeks, thorn bushes. No pearls. So they went to Krishna and said, Krishna, please, we don't know how you did it, but please, you have so many pearls. Give us some of your pearls, please. And Krishna said, oh, we went to you and asked you for pearls, and you just gave us one reject, and now you're asking us for pearls. No. So then they pleaded, Krishna, please, we'll give you gold if you can give us some of your pearls. And Krishna said, gold? Each one of my pearls is worth the value of the Kaustuba gem. And you want to give me gold? No, sorry. So there went on bargaining, you know. And eventually, you know, Krishna's an ocean of mercy. So he gave them pearls. Actually gave them pearl necklaces. So they all lived happily ever after. So these are some of the pastimes of Krishna, unlimited pastimes of Krishna. So I wanted to read there's 25 qualities of Radharani. Actually, she has unlimited wonderful qualities, but there's 25 that stick out the most. By the way, first I wanted to mention that it's so nice that the devotees cook so many cakes for Radharani. 52, right? And I think more are coming, but I just heard from a Pujari that on Janmashtami, not one cake was made for Krishna. So you've all heard that. Next year on Janmashtami, we got to make more than 52 for Krishna. Not one was made for Krishna. I couldn't believe it. Govardhan Puja is coming up. More cakes. So here are some of the wonderful qualities of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Number 1, she's very sweet. 2, hello, she is always freshly youthful. Radharani doesn't get old. You never see a picture of Radharani wrinkled. No. Always very beautiful. 3, her eyes are restless. 4, she smiles brightly. 5, she has beautiful, auspicious lines. Where would those lines be? Huh? On the hands and the feet, yes. Number 6, she makes Krishna happy with her bodily aroma. She doesn't need perfume. She's automatically beautiful. And this reminds me, I'll tell you how Krishna, or how Radharani appeared in this world. Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, the mother and father of Radharani, they had prayed for a daughter. They wanted a daughter so much. But they didn't have. So King Vrishabhanu, he was on the bank of the Yamuna, and this lotus flower, 1,000-petaled lotus flower, came floating down the Yamuna. Golden, beautiful, glowed. And he was shocked. And then it came to the shore, and he saw this beautiful girl in this lotus flower. And he was like, he was looking around, who was the parents? So no one came forward, so Krishna's mercy. So he took this baby. But there was a problem. The baby was blind. But anyway, he thought, anyway, she's beautiful. So he took her back to Kirtida, and she was like, wow, such a beautiful child. What was the hue? What did she look like? What was the color? Of golden. Tapta Kanchani Gaurangi. Yes. Beautiful golden color. I mean, how often do you see a child that looks golden? So, after 3 or 4 days, Yasoda and Nanda came to visit them because they had heard that they had a baby girl. They brought Krishna with them. And Krishna, remember, he's also just a child. He's just, how much older is Krishna than Radharani? Who knows? Huh? 2 weeks, yeah, 15 days, 16 days, like that. So he's also very young, so he sees the cradle there, and he crawls up, and he looks over, and as soon as he looked over, says, because Krishna, he also has a fragrance. She smelled the fragrance of Krishna. So when she smelled the fragrance of Krishna, and Krishna looked over and looked at her, she opened her eyes. Imagine how beautiful the eyes are of Radharani. And then she started making the sounds babies make, goo goo gaga. And then in Kirtida and the Vrishabhanu, they heard her making these baby noises. And hey, she's not dumb. And then they came, and her eyes are open. And they were so happy to see this. So this is how Radharani appeared. Of course, Radharani appears in many universes, so this is how we're hearing. She appeared here. And there's another amazing pastime of how Krishna saw her the second time. Now we're fast forwarding. You know how when we were children, we all played hide and seek? In India also, they play everywhere hide and seek. Where did it begin? Goloka Vrindavan. So Krishna's playing hide and seek with all the other children, the boys and girls. And Krishna, he was the one that was seeking, everybody else was hiding. So when he saw Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, he fainted. She was so beautiful. Imagine seeing someone so beautiful that you just faint. That's what Krishna did. And she didn't know what to do. He was a cute boy also. You know? Very handsome. So she didn't know what to do. She just ran away, and then she went to her house and she told the gopis, her friends, that, you know, this boy came before me and he saw me and he fainted and I didn't know what to do, so I left, and please find out if he's okay. You know, who is this boy anyway? So they went and they found out it's Krishna, and he's okay. He's at his home. He's the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda, and he's okay. And so she was happy, and she said that, actually, I won't eat until I hear that he's okay. So when she heard that he's okay, now I'll take some prasad. Yeah. So this is another wonderful pastime of Radharani. There's unlimited wonderful pastimes. Here it says that she is very expert in singing. 8, her speech is charming. 9, she is very expert in joking and speaking pleasantly. So she's got a good sense of humor. You know, she must be very funny. And Krishna is also known as Kautika, which means he has the best sense of humor. He's very funny. If you go back to the spiritual world, you're going to be laughing a lot. You know? We all like to laugh, right? There's a lot of crying in this world because so much suffering, dukkhalayama sastata. But if we become qualified and go back to the spiritual world, you're going to live a life of complete joy, happiness. 10, she is very humble and meek. Although she's the goddess of fortune, the most senior female in all the creation, she's humble and meek. And Krishna also, he's the supreme personality of Godhead, but he's very humble. When they had the Rajasuya sacrifice, there was many devotees doing different things. Does anybody know what Krishna was doing? He washed the feet of everyone that came to the Rajasuya Yagya of King Yudhisthira. And there was, some of them were enemies of his, but he was washing everyone's feet. This is the humility of God. Like Radharani, she is humble and meek. 11, she is always full of mercy. She's more merciful than Krishna. So if we please Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, she'll say to Krishna, Krishna, this is a very nice devotee. Please accept him. Krishna can't refuse because she's the dearmost of Krishna. 12, she is cunning. 13, she is expert in executing her duties. 14, she is shy. 15, she is always respectful. 16, she is always calm. 17, she is always grave. 18, she is expert in enjoying life. 19, she is situated at the topmost level of ecstatic love. She was experiencing so much love for Krishna that Krishna, he wanted to experience that because he could see that she's experiencing so much ecstasy. Therefore, what did he do? He appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani. Therefore, he is known as Gaura Hari, Gauranga, the golden. He also had the golden hue, form. So he wanted to experience the love that she experienced. Yeah. And therefore he experienced something called Mahabhav. Only Radharani, Krishna, and Madhavendra Puri experienced this love. Yeah. Mahabhav. So she's experiencing a joy that we can't even imagine. 20. She is the reservoir of loving affairs in Gokul. 21. She is the most famous of submissive devotees. 22. She is very affectionate to elderly people. 23. She is very submissive to the love of her friends. 24. She is the chief gopis. She is the chief of all the gopis. 25. She always keeps Krishna under her control. She's so beautiful. She has such good qualities. He's completely captivated by Radharani. She possesses unlimited transcendental qualities, just as Lord Krishna does. So this is the position of Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī. Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shyam. So shall we stop now? It's any question? Okay. Any question by anybody? Any pastime anyone would like to share? If not, then we will take prasad. Dayanidhi Prabhu. Oh yeah. Listen, perp up. You get something. You get a reward if you're able to solve the quiz. You have a question. All right, we have a question. How do we know when Radha was born? Very good question. We don't. We have an idea, about 5,000 years, but not exactly. We don't know the exact year. About 5,000 years ago, Krishna appeared, and he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, and he performed his pastimes. But the exact year, sorry, only Krishna knows that, and Radharani probably. Yes?
You can ask, when does the sun rise?
Okay.
And there's a fixed time that the sun rises.
Okay.
At the same time, the sun is always shining. It appears before our vision at a particular time and place, but it's always shining.
Very good.
Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī is So Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī is eternally existing in the spiritual world by the side of Krishna. Yeah. And yet she appears in this world from time to time as the sun appears before our vision. So your answer is correct. I just wanted to add that other aspect.
Thank you.
That she's eternally present in the spiritual world.
And what's happening also is this is called Krishna Leela, eternal. There's a Nitya Leela, eternally going on. Radharani and Krishna are always appearing somewhere in some universe. His pastimes are always going on, eternally. When the pastime of Krishna, for instance, killing Aristasura, when he killed, after he killed Aristasura, then it happens somewhere else. It's always going on somewhere. So this is the eternal Nitya Leela, pastimes of Krishna. So do we have Dayanidhi there? Okay, then we'll tell the little pastime of how Radhakund appeared. Krishna killed this...
1 minute. Let's find a reliable agent.
To find Dayanidhi?
Yeah, Neela Madhava, can you go get Dayanidhi? Do you mind? Yeah, just tell him, hey, what's up? People want to take prashad. He's up against a greater force than all of us.
This is Bhadra Narayan's son, in case some of you don't know.
He's a very good boy. Bless him on Radhastami.
Jai! So, Krishna killed this big demon, Aristasura. And Radharani and the other gopis said, Krishna, you killed a male cow, you killed a bull. Come on, you have to do some penance now. You have to go to the holy place and get purified. And he said, well, I don't have to go. I'll bring them here. He's Krishna. So the holy places came, and Krishna, he put his heel in the ground, and okay, here's, oh well, you're gonna have to read it quickly. Okay, so the holy rivers came into this heel, and it expanded, and then Radharani, Krishna told Radharani, you could also bathe in this pond. She said, oh no, we're not going to go there. We'll get contaminated because of your sin. So they wanted to bring water from the what is it, Manasa Ganga, and they made their own. The gopis built they actually with their hands they made a pond, and then they brought in some of this water, but the holy rivers, they weren't satisfied. They begged, Radharani, please allow us to enter also. Please allow us. They were begging, and finally Radharani allowed them to go into her pond. So that's how Radhakund came. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.